FortiGate can perform many endpoint compliance checks, one being the minimum version of FortiClient. In EMS 723, we've added the same check, and the EMS administrator can now use the FortiClient version to create ZTNA tags. Let's create a ZTNA rule set that will tag endpoints if they meet a minimum version. All operating systems are supported. Note that we support a number of comparison operators so that we can check more than just a minimum version. We'll check also for a minimum version for the Mac as well. And we'll save that rule set. Once the rules are evaluated, we'll now begin to see the endpoints tagged with our minimum FortiClient version tag. The subject name of certificates can vary from machine to machine in the following cases. User-based certificates. As part of a user enrollment process, these certificates usually have a user name in the subject name field. Active Directory Certificate Authority. Usually, domain-joined devices automatically receive a certificate. These device certificates contain the device's hostname in the subject name field. To create a ZTNA rule set to tag a machine with these types of certificates, EMS now allows for wildcard and regular expression evaluation of the subject name field. Without this feature, checking for a given certificate would require a ZTNA rule set for each machine. Let's create a ZTNA rule that evaluates the endpoint certificates, looking for an issuer that matches the EMS system serial number, but will accept any subject name. This rule will match ZTNA certificates issued by EMS, where the subject name is the FortiClient serial number and is unique to each endpoint. We'll call this ZTNA cert installed, create a tag for it, and we'll write a rule. So here I'm going to write a regular expression. I know that the subject name for an EMS ZTNA certificate is 32-character hexadecimal number, which can be composed of digits 0 to 9 and the letters A to F, both uppercase and lowercase, and it's 32 characters. And the issuer will be the EMS certificate serial number. And we'll save that. And FortiClients with version 723 or higher will now evaluate this rule on the endpoint. And we can see that the ZTNA rule has been pushed to the endpoints. They've evaluated it. And our machines, these two, have reported back that they do indeed have a ZTNA certificate. This feature includes significant usability improvements for managing the priority of many policies. An EMS customer, a school district, had configured their EMS system with over 3,000 policies and needed help adjusting the policies' priorities. The EMS administrator can now export the list of policies ordered by priority in a text file. Using a text editor, the EMS administrator can reorder this list in priority order and import the list back into EMS. Let's try this. Click Change Priority, Bulk Policy Order Update, and we're going to export the current list of policies. Save it as policies.txt. We'll open it up. And as you can see, I have 5 policies here, schools 1 to 5. Let's make school 5 the highest priority policy. Save those changes and then go back here. Next, we're going to import that same file back. And as you can see, school number 5 is the top priority, priority 1. Within the user interface, it's now easier to rearrange the priority of policies. The handles to use to drag and drop the policies to rearrange the priorities are now larger and easier to use. Under the endpoint count column, the bar is now color-coded and will show the number of machines that have actually successfully updated their policies and the ones that have yet to synchronize. Today, for Windows and macOS, an EMS administrator can create a deployment package with an embedded installer ID. Using this installer ID, the EMS administrator can then create a group assignment rule. For iOS and Android devices, we cannot embed installer IDs as the installers are downloaded from the device's respective Apple App Store or Google Play Store. When deploying FortiClient from an MDM platform, the IT administrator can configure an invitation code in the mobile device's configuration profile. In the 7.2.3 release, we can now create a group assignment rule using this invitation code. Let's do that. Click Add, and the type of rule will be invitation. We select from a previously created invitation, and then select the group that the device should be assigned to with that when it uses that invitation code. Enable the rule. Let's run the rules now. And then when we go to our groups, we can see one machine had been registered with that invitation code, and it's now part of this group.